Hi, my name is Brittany McCullough, and I will be talking about the regional music scene of Honolulu, Hawaii. The music of Hawaii ranges from native Hawaiian folk to rock and roll and hip hop. Other styles, like the slack guitar, are also well known worldwide. Music of Hawaii is largely religious in nature and includes chanting and dance music. Some of the most popular genres are Hawaiian, and I don't really know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this is the Hawaiian style of reggae music. It was recognized as a new genre in the 1980s and continues to dominate the local music scene. The band Simplicity has been credited by Quiet Storm Records as originators of the Hawaiian style. Another popular genre is rock and roll, which I was slightly surprised by, not gonna lie. But this music has long been popular in Hawaii and still is to this day. Numerous rock and roll artists spent their developmental years in Hawaii, which I did not know, and I found that really surprising as well. A fun fact is that Elvis Presley's career included several Hawaii-related performances and records. Through the 1960s and 1970s, rock concerts were frequently held at venues like the Honolulu International Center and the Waikiki Shell by artists like Jimi Hendrix, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, and more. And the last really big popular genre in Hawaiian music is jazz. There are many regular jazz venues to hear in Honolulu. Some of them include the Ward Rafters, the Honolulu Club, Jazz Minds, and 39 Hotel. There are also frequent performances by the University of Hawaii jazz bands. Jazz Wednesdays are at the Honolulu Club, and downtown Honolulu presents live jazz every Saturday night, which is a huge tourist place. The popular music festivals and music venues, some of them are the Merry Monarch Hula Festival, which brings together hula groups from all across the world, the Hawaiian International Jazz Festival, Slack Key and Steel Guitar Festivals, the Neil Ath. He explained that in Honolulu, there were so many opportunities to perform and that he never had trouble trying to find a gig or just a opportunity to go out and perform in front of people. But when he moved to LA, it was so much harder, and he struggled for a little bit before so he just decided he needed to songwrite for other artists. And he said that he learned how to that basically in the music business that you had to do everything on your own. So as he started off songwriting and producing for all sorts of other artists, a friend introduced Mars to a songwriter, Philip Lawrence, who agreed to help him compose material. By the early 2000s, he had begun to find success by writing songs for several popular artists that we all know, including Flo Rida's hit Right Rounds, Brandy's Long Distance, and Chavi McCoy's Billionaire. After several years as one of pop music industry's premier songwriters, he finally broke out as a singer in his own right with his 2010 hit Nothing on You. This track proved an enormous hit, skyrocketing to #1 on the Billboard Singles Chart and instantly transforming Bruno Mars from a behind-the-scenes composer into a pop performer. Several months later, Mars released his first solo single, Just the Way You Are, from his debut studio album, and it quickly put him at the top of the Billboard charts. In 2012, Mars released his second studio album, Unorthodox Jukebox, featuring yet another huge amount of hit songs and quickly meeting with both commercial and critical acclaim. The hits continued for Mars, as seen with his collaboration with producer, songwriter, musician Mark Ronson. The two had a big #1 tune with their dance jam Uptown Funk from Ronson's 2015 album, Uptown Special. Another really popular artist that was from Honolulu. I know one song from him, but I'm sure a lot of people have heard his song. But his name is Israel, and I do not know how to pronounce his last name, unfortunately. So I'm just going to call him Israel. His first taste in performing was at Steamboats in Waikiki, where his father was a bouncer and his mother was the manager. As early as 10 years old, they would call him up on stage with his ukulele. He won the admiration and praise of his elders. And there were many people who just really loved his voice and could relate to him and loved the comfort of his voice. It was very easy to many people. He started out in a band called Makaha Sons. They went on to record 21 albums and won many awards and were known to change Hawaiian music history. In 1993, he decided to venture out on his own and start his solo music career. His first release was his remarkable solo CD called Facing Future. Facing Future was followed with the release of another 5 remarkable recordings, which are all listed on the PowerPoint. All listeners, as they were listening to him all around the world, they were becoming more aware of his powerful music. He started getting film and television offers. And one thing about Israel's music is that it was all, it had a lot of very cultural, definitely supporting Hawaii, many deep meanings in all of his songs. So they were very influential. As he started getting film and television offers, Universal Films contacted the Mountain Apple Company about an exclusive license to use his recording Over the Rainbow / What a Wonderful World in the movie Meet Joe Black. There was even eToys.com adopted his music for a series of national television commercials. His sweet voice was matched perfectly to those television commercials, and it celebrated the innocence and beauty of childhood and this discovery of a world filled with wonder. And again, it explains how they loved the just sweetness and comfort of his voice. The ability of Israel's vocals to make an immediate connection with the listener has made him a favorite of major advertising agencies. His recordings are featured in commercials throughout the world, which remain in rotation because of Israel's unique ability to connect. And I thought that was really cool and just really inspiring for me as an artist. And the last artist we're going to talk about is Led Kapana. Again, I think that's how you say his last name. I'm not really sure. But he was the mastery of stringed instruments, particularly slack key guitar, and his extraordinary baritone and falsetto voice. He grew up in a very musical family. He learned to play in the old style by watching, listening, and then imitating. As teenagers, his twin brother and his cousin, they all formed a band called, I'm going to guess, it's called the Hui Ohana. And this became one of the hottest groups of the 70s and 80s and now are very legendary among Hawaiian musicians. Their first recording was Young Hawaii Plays Old Hawaii. But they ended up producing 14 best-selling albums and made hundreds of live appearances. He later formed another trio called Icona. They released about 6 albums, and then he later went on to release many solo albums himself. He received many Grammy nominations as well as won Album of the Year for 2 of his instrumentals of the Haku Hano Hano. And while recording for Dancing Cat Records, he worked with many popular American artists that we all know and love, Alison Krauss, Dolly Parton, Jerry Douglas, and a lot of Nashville musicians. Now he owns his own record company and works with Hawaii's top musicians. He has toured around the U.S. excessively and now can be found on Saturday evenings at Honey's at the golf course, where many local talent, new artists, music lovers, for sure, they all come and drop by. So in conclusion, What makes Honolulu's music scene unique and sustainable? Definitely the lyrics, the poetry, and the culture in the lyrics. So Hawaii is definitely known for having very deep meaning, very powerful meanings in their music, and I think this is really important, and that's what people really love to hear. And they have a lot of also live music all around Honolulu. There's so many places where you can go, many venues, many restaurants, all these places where there's live music, and I think that's really unique and really cool. And just the passion and religious passion they put all in their music. I know at the beginning I talked about how they do add like a lot of chants, and it's very religious in nature, and I think as long as they continue to do all of these things in their music and to keep the meaning, powerful meaning in their lyrics, I think this will definitely help them sustain and will definitely keep Hawaiian music alive in the Honolulu music scene very alive. So, yeah, that is Honolulu's music scene. Thank you so much.